Okay, thank you everyone for coming today. I know it's not easy to come to a meeting like this, so hopefully everyone can be as relaxed as possible. Just before we start, I just want to go around and do a quick introduction of everyone so everyone knows who everyone is. So if we could say our name, how we're feeling if you feel comfortable sharing that, and what you hope to get out of the meeting. So I'll go first and we'll go this way round. So my name's Gavin, I'm a community panel member, and it's my role to facilitate the meeting today. And I suppose what I'm feeling is I'm just really interested to find out a little bit more about you, Marie, and to see what support and help we can put in place for you in order to help you move on from this. And that's what I hope to get out of the meeting, a good contract that's going to support you.
My name is Vaz Faulkner and I'm going to be Marie's Youth Justice Officer. I'm really excited about today actually. Marie's engaged really well initially with the Youth Justice Service, so I'm hoping we can pull together a really good contract that helps support Marie.
Hi, I'm Marie's mum, Liz. I'm feeling okay today, I'm feeling quite positive. Like as I said, she's done some good work, so I'm just hoping to get out that she's got some focus and get the help she needs and she can move forward and put all this behind her really.
Hi, I'm Marie. I'm quite excited, kind of relieved to kind of get the support I need, and I'm kind of wanting to get a better relationship with my mum and dad, and also to kind of get support when making decisions because I tend to make them too quick.
Hi, I'm Evelyn Williams. I'm a victim practitioner for Remedi. I'm feeling good today, positive, and hopefully we can get a good contract that supports both you and the victim.
Okay, so just before we start, I just want to take us through what we're going to be doing in the panel today so that everyone's aware of that. So just to be clear, today is not about judging you, Marie, you've been to court. Today is about looking to the future and how we can help and support you and make it right. So we've got the flip chart paper here, and this is really everything we're going to be talking about in the meeting. So as we're going along, you can be ticking it off in your head that we've talked about that. What we're going to talk about first is help and support for you, and we've put each of the things that you said you feel like you need help and support with on that side, and then we're going to talk about how we make it right by other people who've been affected. And I know you've mentioned you want to help your mum and dad, you said that, introduce yourself, and we've got Evelyn here who can tell us what the victim would like in order to make it better in this situation. Just before we start, I'm aware it is a difficult meeting potentially, so if it gets too much for anybody at any time, we can have a break. If you just let me know, and if you need to just get up and leave the room, the door's there, and if you go back to reception where we came from, and then we know where to find you if you feel you need to get out of the meeting at any point. Has anyone got any questions before we start then? Okay, so as I say, what we'll be starting with is the help and support part of the panel. And we'll be going through each of these outcomes, scoring them, and then looking at what we can put in place. Okay, so we're going to begin by looking at help and support for you, Marie. So we've got some of the things that you've identified on here in your work with us. So looking at your report, I suppose we could start with to be more thoughtful when making decisions is one of the things you said you want help and support with. So what we do, Marie, is we score that on a scale of 1 to 10. If 1 is, you never think when you make a decision and you always make bad decisions, and 10 is you always think and you make the best decisions. In general, where would you say you are on that scale of 1 to 10?
I think maybe like a 2.
A 2. Okay, so I'm going to put that on here. The reason we're doing this is so that when we come back for your review, we can look at that again and see if what we've put in place is working. So it's to see if what we're doing is working, and if it's not, we can change it, because in 3 months we'll be coming back and having a look and rescoring that. In terms of then putting things in your contract, what would help is just to understand a little bit more about that. So when you say that you're making bad decisions or you're not thinking when you make a decision, can you give me any examples of that?
Just kind of like when I'm out with my friends, I kind of make decisions that kind of I don't really think about because I'm trying to go along with what they're doing, and also just in general I just don't really I get in trouble a lot for kind of making decisions before actually thinking, and it kind of annoys my mum and dad, but no, just when I'm out I just kind of I don't really think about what I'm doing.
So it's when you're with friends, you can make bad decisions. What sort of stuff happens?
kind of drinking, going to the wrong places at the wrong time, kind of just stuff like that. So.
Does that fit with what?
Yeah, I'm not saying that friends are bad influences or anything like that. I think they're all the same, but I think when drink's involved a little bit, they do things that they probably wouldn't do when they were sober. To be saying it does worry me.
And I know you've said you're worried about that drink, so we'll come to that later as we talk through this. Just to keep on that, I know you said when you're with your friends, I suppose one of the things that I would notice here is when you committed this offence, you weren't with your friends. So do you find that you make those impulsive decisions at other times as well?
Yeah, definitely, but I think them kind of being more of an influence on me is kind of making me commit them more when I'm on my own as well.
So, sounds like having issues with decision making, being impulsive. I wonder, is there anything that the Youth Justice Service can do around that?
Absolutely. I think we could address that. We could do some sessions around consequences of my actions. We could do a couple of sessions around peer influence, possibly. Relationships, good and bad. We could definitely do a referral into our substance misuse worker, get you sat down with our substance misuse worker to look at this alcohol use, should be able to give you some advice. I think that would be a good start for your order.
How do you feel about that, Jess?
About the...
So let's take them one at a time. You feel about doing some work around consequences of your actions and peer influence?
No, I think that sounds like the right way to go. I think it'll help me kind of be more thoughtful.
And how about seeing the substance misuse work around your drinking?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's that big of a problem. But I just think, I don't know. I just think that it's kind of a thing that I do when I go out with my friends. It's not really a problem to me.
I can hear that you don't think it's a problem. I suppose, Mum, you've said you feel worried about that, so I don't know if you want to tell a little bit more.
Yeah, I just feel like, it might get out of hand, it might become a problem if you don't sort of know what's involved, the consequences of what's involved, and get some plan there in case it does get out of control, because you are drinking at the moment, you're staying out a bit later with them, which you wouldn't do, and when you've had a drink, everything goes out the window. So I know you're saying it's not a problem at the moment, but let's not make it a problem. Let's nip it in the bud.
I suppose that work that you do with the alcohol worker, it's not necessarily about saying you can't ever drink. What it's about is looking at what's safe and what's healthy, and what in terms of you making decisions, how it influences your decisions, similar to some of the other work you do. Are you okay with us putting that on your contract then?
If it'll help my mum, then yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, so it's good that you want to do that to your mum as well, so that's good. So if we say, I think we've got enough there around being more thoughtful, unless there's anything else that anyone wants to...
No, I think it's just to add to explain to me, it'd just be one meeting with the substance misuse worker. She'd just sit down, you'd have a chat, and then you can make a decision on whether you'd like some more sessions.
So our next one we need to look at then that you've said is around being successful. So I think you've said you want to be successful in your job and career specifically. So again, just scoring that on a scale of 1 to 10, if 1 is nowhere near that success, completely off the mark, and 10 is you've achieved everything you want to achieve, where would you say you are in general?
Like a 5.
5, okay. So if we put that pen, so put be successful at a 5. So that's not a 1. So what have you done so far that you feel has been a success?
I've got a place on the course that I wanted in September, but I'm not too sure if I'll get the exam results at the moment with the way that I think they've gone.
Okay, so worried about results, but you got that place in that course, which is positive. And I know that sometimes when results aren't there are ways to do that, but I know there's people in the offending team who can provide support around that.
Absolutely. Automatically you get allocated an education officer, and that's Rachel. So Rachel, I'll get Rachel to give you a ring. I know it's exams results day tomorrow, so we'll give you a day or two to let you absorb that. I'll get Rachel to give you a ring next week. If the results are okay and you've definitely got your place, that's fine. She'll just offer a little bit more support. If not, we'll probably get you into office week after. We'll sit down and we'll look at what's achievable and what we might have to do as plan B.
Okay, does that sound
Yeah.
all right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you feel you struggle with in terms of education or your studies?
I guess just kind of focusing on my work, because I tend to get distracted quite a lot. I get bored quite easily, so I think I'm not really committed to it as much as I should be.
Okay, and I think that can be true for everybody. Everybody can be. And again, I suppose that's stuff that Rachel could talk around and give guidance.
Absolutely. Rachel will sit down with you, take you through it all. I suppose it's a little bit like starting Y7 again. Everybody's vying for place in college, and she'll just give you some advice. So she'll signpost you to any support you can get in college as well on a day-to-day basis.
What is it you're hoping to do at college?
Travel and tourism.
Okay, is that something you're hoping to move into as a
Hopefully,
career?
yeah.
Lots of travel, get some nice sunny places.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, so one last thing we talk about on help and support. We've probably already covered this a little bit when we talked about being more thoughtful, but we ask everybody, just to check in, because we want to make sure everyone can be safe, just how they would rate their feelings of safety in general. So if 1 is you never feel safe and 10 is you feel completely safe, where would you say you are in general in terms of feeling safe?
Like 5, 6, I'd say.
5, 6, we'll put it in the middle. I'll get a 5.5, don't normally allow that, but we'll put that. Feel safe then is at a 5.5. So in terms of feeling safe, what sort of things make you feel unsafe sometimes, if you don't mind talking about that?
No, just kind of when I'm out with my friends, I don't really think, and I think that I do put myself in situations where it is unsafe. So I'd say kind of in those situations I do feel a bit on edge, but yeah.
And so do you feel that the things we've already talked about in terms of your order would meet
Yeah.
that need a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything you'd want to add at that point?
No, I agree with that. I mean, feeling safe, it's just, I think, like with the alcohol thing, which is great, I think, because when you had a drink, you're invincible, aren't you? And, you know, she does do things that make me worry at home, and that's probably why I get a little bit angry, because I'm worried, and it probably comes out in different ways. So all this in place for me is just great, makes her think what she's doing, and she's got some focus, so I'm pleased.
That's everything on the help and support side. Is there anything else that people would want to talk about before we move on to making it right? So we've looked at help and support for you. What we need to do now is look at how we make it right by other people who've been affected. So, you know, that's help and support for you, but other people have been affected by your actions. So it's really important that we look at that. And I suppose the key person who's been affected is the lady whose money you took. So we've got Evelyn here today. Evelyn's from Remedi, and she's met with the lady and she's had a chat with her about what she wants. So Evelyn, if I could hand over to you, if you could take us through that.
So yeah, I've met with the victim and she's really struggling at the moment to rebuild trust. You know, you're a really key part of their team and she's a really good worker. So she scored that out of 4 at rebuilding trust. And she would also like to understand, you know, how this happened. Like I said, you were a really good worker and a really good person. She liked being around you. So she's struggling with that at the moment. I do have a full statement here. If you'd like, I can read that now, or we can meet one-on-one as part of your contract and go through that together. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'd rather meet with you. That's okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. So we can add that as part of your contract, and we can go through, you know, why it happened and try and see how the victim can rebuild trust. She has also said that she would like to maybe meet you. So I know that can be a bit scary, so we can look at that, or we can maybe write a letter, just whatever you feel comfortable about. It's about what you want as much as the victim as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Evelyn. We've got some other stuff alongside making it right. One of the things that you've identified, Marie, is that you want to help your mum and dad feel less angry about what's happened. So, just coming to you, Liz, in terms of feeling angry, just as we've scored everything for Jess and the victim, if 1 is you're completely livid and angry about what's happened and 10 is you're not angry at all, where would you say you are?
I'm probably about a 5 because I do get angry, obviously, when she's getting in trouble and things like that, but another part of it is worry as well. So I think for me, if she sticks to everything you're putting in plan for her here, it's going to alleviate those anger and worry issues for me. and hopefully that'll build a better relationship, because she's, I'm not shouting it because I'm shouting because I care, so, and it comes across anger sometimes.
So I suppose what Mum said there is, she does feel angry and worried, I picked up as well, and how to sort of make that better is to stick to your order. How do you feel about that, Marie?
I feel okay sticking to my order, if that's what will make me feel better.
One last thing that we discussed is, just as we talked about you feeling safe, we do like to talk about other people being safe. However, from everything we've discussed so far, I feel like you're taking steps to address that. You're looking at your behaviour, you're going to meet with Evelyn to look at the victim and help them feel better, and you've talked about making your mum feel better. So I'm happy that actually today we've done enough to meet that bubble. So, happy to move on to the last bit of the sort of conversation that we have to have. So we're nearly finished now. But the last part of making it right is something called reparations. This is about making it right by the community. Has Vaz talked to you about what reparation is? Yeah. So you know that it's doing some community work, because when a crime happens, there's an impact on the community, both in terms of the cost of you going to court and going through these processes. Also, if a crime happens in an area, it can make other people. I'm a member of the community. If a crime happened in my street, it would make me feel worried that it might affect me. And I know that, Evelyn, you've said other people in the shop as well have been sort of affected by what's happened. So in terms of reparation, it's about doing something in the community, and it might be a chance to learn a skill as well. So it's not just about giving back, there's a chance to learn a skill, maybe something you'd be interested in. A lot of people, when they do the reparation, continue doing some sort of work afterwards as well. And in terms of reparation, then we do it in a number of sessions that you'll do over your order. So you're not going to do them all in 1 week, but you'll do them over a number of weeks. For your type of offence and length of order, we'd normally say between 5 and 8 sessions of reparation. How many sessions between 5 and 8 do you think would be a good amount to make it right by the community?
I'd say like 6.
6? Yeah, that's perfectly fine. We'll put that on there. Okay, so put 6 sessions of reparation on your contract. That is everything we need to talk about today. Just before we finish, we do need to sign your contract though. So before we do that, just so that you understand what you sign, I'm just going to hand over to Vaz to take us through everything we've put on that contract, and then we'll hopefully sign it.
Okay. So we agreed to doing some sessions around the consequences of my actions. We agreed to do a couple of sessions around peers, friends, peer influence, relationships, are they negative, are they positive? We're going to meet with the E2E officer. She'll give you some support into college and some do's and don'ts when you get there. I'm also going to do a referral into our substance misuse worker, just 1 session maybe, just to talk about the alcohol use. If that leads on to more sessions, then great, but that'll be a conversation between you and your substance misuse worker. I'll facilitate a meeting with Remedi to talk about your reparation, which brings me on to the reparation sessions, and we're going to do 6 sessions while you're on your order.
And I think you've also agreed to meet with Evelyn to talk about meeting potentially with the lady whose money you took as well. So that's that. So do you understand everything that's on your order, Marie?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at the point now where we sign your contract. Just want to be clear that when we do sign this contract, it is a legal document. This is a court order, and it's today that your order will start. So 6 months from today is when your order will finish. Hopefully, if you do everything successfully, that's when it'll finish. Just want to be clear that when you do sign this contract, then you are agreeing to attend every appointment that Vaz asks you to attend. And if you ever can't attend an appointment, you need to let Vaz know as soon as possible, and he'll let you know whether that is an okay reason. So if you were poorly, that would be an okay reason, but if you just wanted to go out with your friends, that wouldn't be an okay reason. There are some other things like going on holiday. You need to let Vaz know if you're planning on going on a holiday, so that can be agreed because you are on a court order. But Vaz will let you know all about that in your first session. So as I say, when you sign this today, you're agreeing to attend those appointments. Is everybody happy to sign the contract today?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go around, everybody sign the contract. Okay, thank you everyone for coming today. As I said in your initial meeting, I know these are not easy meetings to come to, and I know today's probably a little bit more of a difficult meeting because the reason we're here today is for a back on track meeting. What I would like to do though is just have a go round just to check in with who everyone is, just as a reminder, and how everyone's feeling just before we start that. So I'll go first. So my name's Gavin, member from your initial panel, and I suppose what I'm feeling is just a little bit curious as to what went wrong, because when we met last time it seemed really positive at the end, and I suppose we're back for a back on track, which means some appointments have been missed. So I'm just curious to find out what's been happening, and hopefully we can get that back on track.
My name is Vaz, and I'm Marie's Youth Justice Officer, and I'm really disappointed and frustrated that we're actually here today, but I'm hopefully we can get Marie back on track today.
I'm Liz, Marie's mum. I'm just gutted. I can't believe that we're here. Frustrated, just angry, worried, everything, because I can't believe that it was so. What I had to do was follow it, and here we are again.
I'm sorry. I'm Marie, and I guess I'm kind of just relieved to kind of tell you guys why I have been missing appointments and why I'm kind of back here.
Okay. So how the meeting's going to work is we'll have an opportunity at the start for you to explain what happened in terms of how it went off track. You can contribute to that as well, Liz. And then we'll give Vaz an opportunity to say what's happened from the Youth Justice Service perspective. And then we'll have a chat about getting things back on track. Now I know there is, you've identified you want things to be better at home as a way of getting that back on track. I need to be really clear today though that we are making a decision about whether this can continue or if it does need to go back to court. So at the end of the panel I'll be making a decision about, am I confident that this can continue or does it need to go back to court? Now I'm hoping that that decision will be that we can continue, because I think that will be best for everyone, but I just need to be clear that a possible outcome could be that it goes back to court. Is everyone clear about that? Okay, so Marie, just if you could tell us, I know you've put a little bit in your report with Vaz, but tell us what's happened that means that you've missed these appointments.
I think I fell out with my mum and dad at home, and it made it that I went and stayed with my nana and my friends. I think I only staying at home now like once or twice a week. It kind of meant that things were kind of getting a bit chaotic for me, and I kept forgetting my appointments and forgetting what time and where, and it just meant that I was missing them.
Okay, and so when you say things fell out at home, what sort of happened in terms of what caused it?
We were just arguing all the time because I was getting really angry because something as simple as, an appointment, she was missing that. Then I'm getting worried because she's on about she hasn't got a problem with alcohol, and I'm saying, well, I'm worried that she's going to be shoplifting for alcohol because where's she getting it? Because, everything's just going around in my mind. So that worry has gone even higher, which makes me even angrier. Then it's getting strained because she's not living with us. So I can never get hold of her because she's either out or she's doing something, so I can't remind her about her appointments. So everything's just gone crazy and chaotic, hasn't it?
Sounds like it's been really difficult since we last met. How do you feel about what your mum said, Marie?
I think she's right, but I think I left because we were arguing. I think that's what kind of strained the relationship between us.
Okay, so I know you've put things to be better at home, and we'll come to that in a moment. I just want to hear from Vaz about what's happened from the Youth Justice Service perspective.
Yeah, Maria's engagement's been really good in terms of coming for appointments with myself, and I know she's quite anxious about meeting the substance misuse worker, and a couple of these appointments have been that. And I think what we need to do today is try and sort out what's going to be the best way we get you two guys together, because we know alcohol's a key player in some of your offending, in the relationship with your parents. So it's essential to get you sat down with the substance misuse worker. And a suggestion I might have is maybe we get the substance misuse worker to come and pick you up from from your nanas, from her friends, take you for a coffee, bring you back, that initial relationship, so it's not in that office environment, it's not so stressful. Maybe that's something we could look at today.
I think it is really important that you attend those appointments. It was something you agreed in your initial panel, so how do you feel about what Vaz has said?
I mean, it sounds better. I think it'll make me attend them more because I'll be in the right place to go to them.
So for me to be confident to continue this order, I do need that commitment that you are going to meet with that work, because it does seem to be something that's underpinning a lot of the issues that means that we've gone off track. So have we got that commitment today then? If it is arranged that they'll come and meet you, go somewhere a little bit less formal and have that conversation maybe over, coffee, whatever it is you like to drink when you're at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's good that we've got that commitment, and that makes me feel a little bit more confident about continuing the order, that we've got the commitment to meet that alcohol worker in that more informal setting. We have got your initial contract here that we signed, and I suppose what I'd like to do is just maybe add to that a little bit with this sort of new outcome that you've said, which is to feel better at home. And we've talked about the difficulties you've had at home, and I know you've scored that as a 2 at the minute, that things don't feel great at home. So I suppose what I'm looking for is what we could do in order to make that better.
Well, I think we just need to talk more. It's difficult when she's at Nan's, but I think we argue, and I think I'm right, she thinks she's right. So can somebody help us out with communication, really, because we're just not getting anywhere at the moment, are we?
Is there anything that...
It might be possible that we can kind of look at some mediation between yourself and parents, and that's something that could sit outside the Youth Justice Service. But I think it's important that you guys are talking a lot more. But again, I'll reiterate, it's essential to get you to these substance misuse appointments, Maria. It's going to be key to getting you through this order. You're doing fantastic. All the other aspects of your order, you're absolutely smashing it. It's just this little stumbling block, and we're going to do whatever we need to do to help you get over that stumbling block and into back on track, basically.
So how do people feel like that? Continuing with the order as was, with a renewed commitment to attend those alcohol problems, but also looking at maybe some family mediation work.
Yeah.
Okay, well, one of the things I'll say then is I am sort of happy to continue the order on that basis. It is really important though, Marie, that you do attend those appointments, as Vaz says, because if you weren't to attend any future appointments, we would come back to another back on track panel, and at a second back on track panel I'd feel less confident in continuing the order, and that would mean you would probably go back to court, and that might mean you get a longer order or a different order. So can't stress enough that if we continue with this today, you really need to attend those appointments. And it sounds like attending those appointments will help that relationship and things feel better at home as well. Okay, so if we've added that to the contract, this is an opportunity then to re-sign that contract and recommit to it. Is everybody okay to sign that contract? Okay, thank you very much, everybody.